Welcome to episode 7 of the WrestleCord podcast. You're here with your hosts, Cordial and Ryan, on this windy Monday night on the East Coast. It is March 23rd, 2026, about 9:20 p.m. Those of you who joined us last night on episode 6, thank you so much for tuning in. We're really sorry about the mic issues. We will definitely not be using that one again.
No,
So
it's a very mega episode too.
It was long. We had so much to cover. If you haven't gone and listened to it, I highly recommend it. We covered a lot of stuff, a lot of events, and it was a really good episode.
Yeah, about 6 shows.
I think so, yeah.
At least,
yeah. I had such a great time, did you?
So, I had such a good time, such a great conversation. It's unfortunate so much of it didn't get picked up properly by the mic.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a little mini, I guess we call it a little mini episode today, a lot shorter. We're just going to cover pretty much some news and Slam Dunk Sunday collision that just happened with AEW. So only an hour-long show there with AEW, and some fun stuff, but not a whole lot going on there. So it's going to be a pretty quick, short show. If you want a nice, fast listen, this is the show to check out. And, how have you been so far since last night, Cordial?
Since last night, doing fine. I got my homework done early this week, so I've actually had a couple nights off, which is nice.
That's nice. A good, fun reprieve.
Yep.
I've been working at it, doing, right now I just had surgery a few months ago, so I'm going through physical therapy. Did a bunch of that today, and that was fun. Really feeling a lot better than I did a few months ago, and that's
awesome.
Always a great thing.
Absolutely.
So, and I hope everyone out there is feeling great.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you want to open us up with some news?
Absolutely. So we don't have too much tonight because we did cover news last night. We got Tony Storm. We talked a little bit last night about how they are talking about Tony being out for a while. Fightful Select actually confirmed on Friday that Tony's going to be out for the duration of 2026, which is a really long time.
Yeah, it's such a shame.
It is. Dave Meltzer actually said today that she's not out due to injury. So I don't know. What do you think? Why do you think that she would be out so long then?
I don't know. I'm literally just guessing off the top of my head here. I wonder if this might be a pregnancy.
Oh, that would make sense because it's
a reason to be out with, and especially
9 months.
Yeah, and
that makes sense.
And
that
as
is exactly 9 months.
As it was sort of reported that she was ready to go.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, and they had to do an emergency sort of
substitution with Mina.
Yeah, substitution with Mina. So that very much sounds like it may be in that vein. Maybe she went to the medical office, was explaining some symptoms, and they made her do a test, and which, I mean, considering the match she had at Revolution, I hope
everything
if that
is
the case, everything will be okay. But then again, we're all jumping the gun here.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
We don't. We're just spitballing.
Yeah, this is just a gas here I'm kind of throwing out.
Well, hopefully we'll get some more news on that shortly. Fightful News also reported that Wardlow was spotted backstage at Revolution, which I thought was really interesting because we haven't heard anything from him in a long time. But it doesn't look like there's actually any creative plans in the works at this point in time, so who knows?
As far as the reporting goes, it's I think Wardlow's an interesting case considering a guy that they really started pushing and then they backed off on. My personal opinion, it's Wardlow.
Yes.
I think that is why they started and then stopped. I don't think that he was getting enough play there.
I don't think so either. It honestly, to me, it kind of felt like they were pushing him kind of like WWE did with Roman Reigns.
Well, I don't think anybody could push somebody that far.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe AEW realized that he wasn't getting over, and that's why they backed off. So, all right. So we're going to talk a little bit about ticket sales for All In London.
Yeah.
This is coming up in August. And ticket sales, apparently, according to PW Insider, ticket sales are flying. They have already sold 20,000 tickets. And pre-sale just went on, I believe it was March 13th.
And I think this has been corroborated by WrestleTix as well.
It has. So that's really exciting because that is a lot of tickets to sell right out the gate. So I'm excited.
I'm not sure what capacity they're setting the arena up for this year. Or the stadium, if you will. Obviously, in the past, they've had a lot more than that, over double that in attendance. So, I mean, we are still quite a few months away.
Exactly.
Hopefully, they sell a lot more tickets. I mean, I'm all for AEW. I'm all for the competition to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're being honest as a WWE fan right now, then you know that WWE has only gotten better because of of the involvement of AEW sort of changing the landscape of the wrestling industry. All right, you want to move on to our big review of
Collision.
last night's Collision? Yeah, the Slam Dunk Sunday.
Yep.
So everybody get your basketballs ready.
Yes. Last night was March 22nd. So this is the second, what would traditionally be the second hour of Collision. Did you want to open up with or did you want to start with our opening match?
Yeah, it was tag team bout. We have Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong taking on Jay Lethal and Lee Johnson, known as
the Twist.
The
Lethal Twist.
All right, we'll get there eventually.
Yes.
We actually had a little discussion during the opening of this bout about what their name was exactly, because I had it referenced as Lethal Twist.
I thought it was the Lethal Swirl.
Well, and that makes sense because Nigel said there in the beginning that along with the Vanilla being Blake Christian, who was at ringside, they are the Lethal Swirl.
Yeah, I missed that part.
But Blake was not in this match, so it was simply the Lethal Twist.
I like that too. It makes
very important distinction we all need to make here.
Makes him sound like ice cream.
This is why you come here to our podcast to get these very important distinctions in what is important in wrestling. So, a real good match. Right around the 10-minute mark. Very, very tight. Very nicely paced, honestly. Orange took a lot of the beating in this match, eventually making some hot tags to Roddy, where Roddy would start cleaning house. There's a bunch of interference by Blake Christian. And actually, before the match really took place, Orange Cassidy tossed his jacket out to ringside and it ended up in the hands of Jay Lethal, who then proceeded to put it on Lee Johnson.
Yes.
And Lee Johnson in the beginning of this would spend a bunch of time on the apron wearing Orange Cassidy's jacket, which was pretty weird to sort of sit there. I kept forgetting that he had done this, and then I see him over in the corner, out of the corner of my eye, in a jacket, going, "Why is he?" Oh yeah, that's right, it's Orange Cassidy's jacket.
And it was kind of funny because it's a little on the small side for him.
Yeah, which they mentioned. That Jay Lethal mentioned it's a little small.
Yeah, and it was also interesting because we actually saw this the previous night. We went to actually watch Collision the first night, Saturday night, and it somehow got messed up, I guess, on Triller, and showed us the beginning of.
We saw Sunday. All of these. We saw all of these events up until a little bit after this point.
Yes.
Right around, I think, the time Jay Lethal was doing the Fargo Strut.
Yes.
And we realized, as all the logos said, Slam Dunk Sunday, and when the show started, Tony Schiavone, announced it as Slam Dunk Sunday. We eventually realized that Triller TV had put up the wrong match footage, the wrong event footage, and we were in fact watching Sunday. So we cut off our feed because we really wanted to make sure we watched Saturday first, and we got context for everything. So we had watched a little bit of this already. But, back to the match here. A lot of interference by Blake Christian, who was seated at ringside here. Eventually, at one point, he would end up with Orange's jacket. Ends up mocking Orange, doing the lazy kicks on the outside with Stephon Smith, our referee, getting distracted in the ring. And at one point, it was the King's Elbow from Lethal that almost ended the match for Orange here. And it was Roddy coming in, making the save. And in the end, it was Roddy the illegal man, hitting the end of Heartache on Lee Johnson, Orange making the cover, getting the 1-2-3. So a fun win here for this newly minted team. And right after this, Roderick got on the mic. He would state he was only around the conglomeration because of his friend Kyle O'Reilly. When Kyle left, he realized he needed to make a change. This is weird. Then he says the change that needed to happen was with himself, and he is now a member of the conglomeration. This didn't really track very well in my mind how this is supposed to make any goddamn sense. So, the change you realized you needed to make was yourself, but then you turned your back on Orange Cassidy and ran away to the point that people had, at least Orange did, had wanted posters, missing posters for it.
I don't know. It's super weird.
It felt very shoehorned and forced.
It did. Which I think he needs to explain his absence because it was such a just abrupt thing, but I don't think that was the way to explain it.
I mean, was he figuring out what the change was during this time? Did he realize he needed to make a change and then ran away and then he realized the change? I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know either.
Because it's like he realized he needed to make a change. But then the change was just whether he was going to be in the conglomeration.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't,
It's not very clear.
Which is a group that is pretty much never even really mentioned other than with Orange Cassidy. I mean, Willow never talks about being a part of the conglomeration, which, if you aren't aware, we wouldn't be surprised. Willow Nightingale's supposed to be part of the conglomeration, along with Briscoe.
Yes.
And yet, when the hell does he ever? I mean, he was running around wearing that shirt for a long time, and now he almost never mentions it.
Well, and honestly, we haven't even really seen anything as the conglomeration faction. Yeah. We haven't seen.
Well, Kyle O'Reilly's nowhere to be seen.
No. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. And right after he says that, we get the Titantron lights up.
Yes, with the dogs, Connor and Finley. So this was kind of funny. They're challenging Roddy and Orange to a match against them, and they said, this was so funny. They say, "Your girls may be used to 3 seconds, but not us." And then they just go on to be like, "It's you two against us two on Dynamite." So
some girls are happy to even get 3 seconds. So sad it is out there on the pole. There was a weird line at the end that I thought was pretty funny where they said, after this challenge, they said, "You're on dog time now."
What is dog time?
They mean like dog ears?
I don't know. He pointed to his watch, so I don't know.
So does he have a dog watch? Did it have ears?
No, I didn't see ears.
I wonder if it barks on every hour.
Maybe
That'd
only
be funny.
Like that'd be super
12.
Annoying.
I don't know.
Maybe it'll be like what are the grandfather clocks that chime every hour and every half hour if you have it set that way.
Oh, yeah, I had a clock that did that, and then I was so happy to realize that when I turned it over, I could pull one wire out and it stopped chiming. And nothing made me happier. The clock doesn't tick. The clock doesn't chime. This is the thing we haven't mentioned on the podcast. I cannot deal with ticking clocks. It sounds like a bomb in every fucking room. I don't know why people have these things. They're annoying as hell. I don't need a metronome. We're good.
All right.
All right. So from there, we go to a video package here with the Babes of Wrath. Mm-hmm. And it was sort of interesting because it was like a video package that was interspersed with the Babes of Wrath doing a backstage sort of promo, just themselves, Harley and Willow Nightingale, and then interspersed our highlights of Revolution as the girls talk. And it was mostly Willow talking about how her arm was feeling a lot better. We had talked about in our previous podcast, during Revolution, she took a really bad German suplex, and immediately started favoring her shoulder.
Yeah, so which I think affected how they were able to perform then later. So, and challenges the Divine. She eventually then is challenging the Divine Dominion to a rematch. So
the Divine Dominion, the women's tag team champions, Megan Bayne and Lana Cross, they want a rematch. They want a title rematch, and I mean they should be due one. They just lost the titles. That should be automatic. So it's looking like we're going to get to see that in the near future. I'm guessing maybe Dynasty.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That we have coming up in April.
Yeah.
I think that's April 12th.
We'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Don't trust us, folks.
Don't quote that.
Or yes, trust us. Trust us.
Trust us.
We'll act like evangelical preachers. Just listen to everything we have to say. Don't question it. So up next, speaking of the women's tag team champions, we have the Divine Dominion taking on some of our locals. We have
Alex
Viperous
and Alex Gracia.
Okay.
Yes.
And it was funny because I didn't really see when they actually announced it or wherever they flashed on the screen, so I wasn't sure who was who. And hearing those names, I would have thought the girl that was in the ring was in fact Alex Gracia, but in fact that wasn't. That was Viperous, as we could tell by the back of her jersey.
Yes.
And I know you had some interesting opinions about her attire.
I don't know. I just thought it was weird ring attire. I feel like it wouldn't be very comfortable to wrestle in. She was in like an oversized t-shirt, or I guess it was a jersey, and board shorts. I don't know. It was just super awkward. But then she opens up with walking around the ring, putting her hair up. And
when she's standing across the ring from Lana Cross.
Yes. And
it's not a wise move.
No. And of course, Megan's in the middle of the ring, like waiting for her, like, what are you doing? And is not having any of that and turns around and just like gives her a massive fucking clothesline.
Yeah.
Knocks her straight on her back.
Yeah, almost right out of those shoes.
Yes.
And honestly, this was what you would expect. A very much a squash match. And Viper's never even got a clean tag.
No.
Alex never made a legal entry into the match. At one point, though, Lena would drag her into the ring. They would hit what, I think you had a good term for this move that they're doing now.
Yeah, they do like a double bump. So they hold them, I don't know how you explain it. It's
sort of a cross body.
Yeah.
About to do like a slam.
Yeah, so, and then they bump both the girls' backs into each other. So basically we're calling it like a double bump into fall away slams.
No, we'll call it the double bump fall away slam.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's actually a great name for it.
Thank you. I came up with that on my own for the first time.
And so eventually, doing all of this, Alex would get tossed out of the ring, and we'd end up with Viperous. The two girls do their. So when I saw this at Revolution, I called it a double sort of razor's edge bomb.
Okay.
But looking at this in this match, it's hard to tell because all you can see is the back of the girl, but it looks like it may be a double clothesline.
A double, or
I'm sorry,
no,
a double choke slam.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know why I said clothesline. Because I'm trying to read my notes like an idiot, and I have a bit of dyslexia here. So it looked like it was a double choke slam where they like really like crucifix the arms out. They just make their opponent's arms stand like a T. So I guess hopefully we get a better angle of this in the future, and I can be more definitive. I mean, I know we're looking to try to go to some more AEW events in the future.
Hopefully.
So maybe we'll get to see this live. I guess we'll see.
That'd be cool.
So up next we have a singles bout. Tommaso Ciampa, the former TNT champion, a very quick reign he had, taking on Lio Rush. So this is interesting, I think, very peculiar, in that we haven't seen Lio Rush for a while. He's been in AEW. He's been out of AEW. He was part of the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royale. Mm-hmm. And now here he is on Collision. And hey, I'm all for it. I was a fan of Lio Rush. I was a fan before he ever went to WWE. And I was very much a fan of actually what he was doing, being the mouthpiece for Bobby Lashley in WWE. It's unfortunate that didn't go any further. I know he has expressed in interviews that he really wanted to wrestle, and WWE just really wanted to be a mouthpiece. So I can see why he might not be happy in that role, wanting to be a guy who is super athletic.
Mm-hmm, he is.
So I can imagine he wants to flex that wrestling muscle.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we have Ciampa and Rush here. So, like we just said, we haven't seen Rush in a while, and what the fuck is going on here?
I don't know.
With this gimmick.
I don't know. He's got like these white contacts that make his eyes just like bulge and look crazy. And
then he looks like a snake?
I don't know, because like then when he came into the ring at the beginning, he's like walking around the ring like Gollum. Okay. It was so odd. And I don't know, almost like demented.
He's walking around the ring? Gollum? Something's going on here.
I totally didn't even try that. But yes, that's
next level storytelling here. Yes. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and throughout the match, though, you also see him whenever he's like on the mat, he gets down on like all fours, just like Gollum does. But he's like talking to himself just like Gollum does.
Well, and at one point he runs around sort of like a cheetah or a gazelle on all fours.
Yeah, I don't know.
He did that at the pay-per-view too. It was quite strange.
It's very. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe we'll get a little bit more as we see him more.
And I mean, this was a very much a 50-50 match.
Yeah,
here.
He did a great job.
Rush really made a good showing.
He did.
And I think he did look great. He still looked as good as ever. I'm not sold on whatever he's doing here with this character. But in the end, none of it was enough to stop Ciampa, which I don't think is a shock to anybody. No. Ciampa drops the knee pads, hits the knee to the head. He gets the 1, 2, 3. Another win for the former TNT champion.
Yeah.
One of the shortest reigns ever. But actually not the shortest reign. So there you go, Tommaso. And now we are on to our
main event. Trios title bout with the Don Callis family, featuring Takeshita, Josh Alexander, and El Clone.
Yep.
Versus Jet Speed and Mystico. So Jet Speed is...
Yep. And this was for the Trios titles, just to be clear.
Yes. And Jet Speed is Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey.
Yeah. Yep. The Speedball Mike Bailey.
Speedball.
The Jet,
and the
Kevin Knight, and
yes.
Speedball Mike Bailey.
Jet Speed.
I still don't know how they get away with that Speedball name because If you know anything about anything, you know what a sweet ball is, and that's not appropriate.
Well, that's funny because I did not until you told me.
Yeah. Welcome to the club. So, I thought it was funny. They have a lot of wrestlers like Claudio. He wears the CMLL title to the ring, or a lot of times Marina is carrying the title for him. But we have, and even Alex Windsor just recently was wearing the NJPW Strong Women's title.
Yes.
But we have Takeshita coming out not wearing his New Japan World TV title, which is an interesting belt anyway, that literally just says NJPW World, which is their streaming service champion, but apparently it's called the NJPW World Television Championship.
Okay.
And I mean, it's a streaming service, that even television, I don't know, whatever.
I don't know.
It's a weird belt, too. I think it's almost a very lazy belt.
So why do you think he doesn't wear it?
I don't know. I find that very interesting.
Yeah, because I would think as a wrestler, if it were something that I achieved and I got
especially
a belt,
when they literally showed on the graphic.
Yes, that would be something I would want to wear to the ring to be like, yo, look at me.
The best thing I can say about this is it doesn't lean in to Okada's sort of a gripe or dig that he always does to Takeshita.
Okay.
Takeshita's not a champion.
Okay.
Because he lost the Continental. So,
that's an interesting take. Okay. All right.
It's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. I mean, not the Continental. He lost the the IWGP
The IWGP,
World,
yeah.
which is now a title that doesn't actually really exist anymore. Now it's just back to the IWGP Heavyweight, which I very much prefer, especially the physical bout itself.
Yes.
So much prettier. There's just such a history there. I don't know why they decided to do that when they put the Intercontinental title, really tried to make a new title. It didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at how NJPW has been doing, at the point that they united those two belts, things kind of went a lot downhill. They're right now in New Japan, the companies that are really overshadowing them are like Noah and DDT, and NJPW has really become a sort of third act in Japan. So,
oh wow! Okay.
Interesting stuff, but nonetheless, this was super fast paced, as you can imagine, considering everybody involved. Takeshita was the only one to kind of slow it down and bring it down a bit. I thought I would really like to talk a little more about El Clone here. This guy is super acrobatic, very talented. His timing is superb, very superb. And he started showing a bit of character in this match, which I liked. He was at one point had it. I think it was Kevin Knight. He stood on Kevin Knight's back and then started flexing his muscles.
Oh, that's kind of cocky.
Yeah, very
not kinda.
cocky.
I was gonna say it's not kinda. That is cocky.
And I mean, a lot of fun stuff. I know you were really surprised at how talented Mystico is, and Mystico is getting up there in years.
So I haven't really had a chance to see Mystico very much. So him being introduced into AEW.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go
Oh,
on.
that's okay. Him being introduced into AEW, I'm very much enjoying him. I do enjoy like the Lucha Libre style of wrestling, most times. So I really like. From what I've seen so far, I really, really like him. He did this like top rope flying hurricanrana to El Clone, which I thought just looked awesome.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that before. So,
and you didn't get to watch him when he came to WWE many years ago, pretty much a decade ago now, or a little more, where he was Sin Cara. You have seen Sin Cara a bit in our rewatching of old NXT, but a lot of that Sin Cara is actually already a different man. It's Hunico, who would then usurp the Sin Cara gimmick. Mystico did not work out very well in WWE, but such an excellent talent, and you really see that on display in this. I think this title being very lending itself to the Lucha Libre style, the Trios title.
yeah.
They're very big in Lucha Libre, and also in Japanese wrestling, if you pay attention, folks, to multi-man bouts. You see it a ton in Stardom. You see it a lot in New Japan. So this is a very sort of leaning to that international style, and very lends itself very much to people like Mystico, Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, who are just very high-flying, very fast-paced wrestlers. This is a fun bout. Not there for everyone, but I enjoyed it. A lot going on.
I thought it was interesting that Takeshita wasn't really in the ring much. He was like right at the beginning, but then
he was serviceable. I mean, he did his job out there.
Yeah. And he's still sporting that black eye.
Yeah. And in the end, it was, though, Mystico catching that sort of spinning armbar on El Clone, who, like, immediately tapped.
Yeah, that was super fast. I don't think I've ever seen a tap out quite that fast.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as he brought him down to the mat, it was a tap out. And so, like I said, good match. And overall, it was a good show. It wasn't an amazing show. It wasn't anything that I think we're all going to be going back in decades from now on to make sure we catch this show. But what do you expect from a weekly wrestling show? I don't think it should be. You know, you need to save the special moments for special moments. You can't have every show be special or nothing special.
Exactly.
That's the whole point here. And so, yeah, like I said, I don't know, I'm ranting so much. Fun bout, and you know, that's we're starting to near the end of our podcast here. Like we said, this is going to be a nice short one.
Yep.
Folks, just wanted to keep up on all things going on, and of course we will be back this Wednesday evening. So a lot of you probably won't see it till Thursday morning with our coverage of Dynamite. Any more news or happenings that are going on. We also are going to look into some more things. We're going to, I think we're going to start watching a little more One Fall Wrestling. Is a company that I think you told me was owned by QT Marshall, which you're telling me. I've been watching for 30 years, and you're having to tell me about
QT Marshall. It was founded in 2017. Yeah. So, and he's been the owner the whole time, as far as I can tell.
A lot of AEW affiliated wrestlers. And they just did a show. They just did a show
So they did a show this past Saturday. It hasn't been available for us to watch yet. They are, from what I can tell, they're based out of Georgia. Yeah. So, but once it's available, we'll definitely cover it, because this event actually is featuring some pretty big names like Badass Billy Gunn, Austin Gunn, his son, Jeff Jarrett. We got Andre El Idolo, Jay Lethal. Andrade, my bad.
Not Andre.
Andrade. I meant to say. I know this. I love Andrade. Jay Lethal, Harley Cameron, and Orange Cassidy. So I think it looks really good. I'm not going to lie. When they advertised that, I was super excited.
Yeah, you saw that trailer for it.
I know. And I was like, oh my God, I have to watch this. So.
And like we said, we're going to cover Dynamite coming up this Wednesday. And we have already a bunch of bouts announced for Dynamite. This looks like it's going to be a great show.
It does. It's at the Roy Wilkins Auditorium in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yep.
So we've got Tekla defending the title against Mina Shirakawa. Darby is going to be going up against Roosh. We also have an appearance from MJF. We don't really know what that's going to be about yet. We have Kenny versus Swerve for the EVP #1 contender match, which we're thinking probably will be the main event.
I can't imagine it's not going to be. So we got Kenny putting up his EVP powers.
Yes.
Which again is weird, because Swerve said during the All In last year lead up, when they were fighting the Young Bucks, him and Will, that he didn't want the EVP powers. He doesn't want that responsibility. Apparently he's changed his mind. Maybe that's a bit of Nana getting it. I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know either. And then another one that was announced is the Conglomeration versus the Dog. So it's going to be Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy versus David Finlay and Clark Connors. Yep. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be good.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see what MJF has to say.
Me too.
Personally, my opinion, after this Texas death match, I think he should have taken another week off. Yeah. I think we shouldn't have seen him for 2 weeks after the beating he took. It would only make sense in my mind. He's recuperating. You really want to sell what the fuck just happened there, which was a nightmare.
I wonder.
I don't think Darby Allin should be on the show either.
God, he was just in a freaking car accident. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously we talked in our previous podcast how weird of a setup that was.
That really was, yeah.
Where the car crash happens before the end of the match.
Yeah.
Before the bulk of the match.
Yeah. It was, so if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it, because we talk all about that.
Yep, we just released that yesterday.
Yes.
So, folks, please go check that out. We love all the support and love from everybody out there. You can always catch us on youtube.com/WrestleCord. You can find us on all your podcast streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple.
Yep.
And you can always contact us at WrestleCord26@gmail.com. This, of course, is your host, Ryan and Cordial here signing off. We hope everybody has a great night.